Welcome back to the show. We now return to France to continue our highlights from the Swatch Girls Pro. One of the standout surfers on the women's pro circuit is 22-year-old Hawaiian Coco Ho, who continues a proud legacy of one of Hawaii's best-known surf families.
It didn't click to me that I wanted to be a professional surfer probably until I started winning contests, and it was that feeling of recognition and people congratulating you after the fact, and I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I think right then and there I was like, can I really do this forever? And yeah, I made it. I'm on tour now, and that's the goal and the dream, and I'm there. Coming from Hawaii, I'm very used to and accommodated by reef breaks, and I have to travel to a lot of beach breaks and adjust and learn. And I am small though, so I have that to my advantage. I can surf small waves well, I guess, and I'm from Hawaii, so I obviously like big waves and pretty comfortable with just the knowledge of the ocean everywhere I go, and I definitely don't try and stick to one wave. Reading the ocean is obviously a really big part of professional surfing. You have Mother Nature against you, and the first thing my dad taught us growing up as surfers was all about the ocean. We did not learn how to turn or do a floater or get barreled. It was all about the ocean and safety and reading the waves and finding your own, and that's how I learned to surf, and I think that's probably my biggest advantage, because everywhere I go in the world I can adapt. I don't have to have a coach with me every time and tell me how to surf. That all came naturally. I learned to turn on my own and get barreled on my own. For sure, my family is very stoked and proud of how far I've come and being on tour. Yeah, if anything, it's having a family in surfing is so encouraging. My dad and Uncle Derek have been to most countries I've already traveled to, and they've kind of left that mark, and people come to me on the beach like, I met your father 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So if anything, it's comforting, it's inspiring, and it pushes me, and it makes me want to continue to make them proud and just hold the name high and do my best.
Coco Ho was back in business for the round of 24, where the girls once again were greeted by tricky conditions for the four-man heats. The big crowds in Hossegor saw one of the most exciting female surfers, Malia Manuel from Hawaii, turn on the heat and move into the round of 12.
Just getting past the first couple rounds is definitely a confidence booster. Yeah, it just gets you more and more comfortable in a contest rhythm, and just keeping on surfing, and you're knowing your boards and you're confident in your equipment.
Fellow Hawaiian Tatiana Weston Webb also dominated her heat and made the most of the small conditions. Courtney Conlogue had posted the highest score of the contest so far, and supported by her mum, she looked once again focused and determined. Scoring a 7.65 with her best wave, world number 3 moved into the next round and was as relieved as her fans in France.
There's a lot more decision making and a lot more strategy and numbers that go on in those kind of heats. It's definitely a tricky one, but I'm really thrilled to have got through that.
Coco Ho, the princess, was studying the ocean before her heat, in which another Hawaiian, Alessa Kizon, threw down the gauntlet. With some fluid and powerful turns, Kizon earned 9 points for her best wave. Coco Ho had to answer back, but it wasn't to be, and the 22-year-old never really found her rhythm, getting knocked out in the round of 12.
I knew I kind of needed a bigger, better wave, but yeah, I wasn't able to get the good ones that the other girls were, and I definitely felt not all the way on. I felt pretty soft, and yeah, I guess that's why I deserved it.
Two of the most talented surfers on tour, Americans Courtney Conlogue and Sage Erickson, share a close friendship off the water and a fierce rivalry on it. A relationship that started over 10 years ago.
When I first met Courtney, she was really intense, and you can tell that she had a really strong fire about her to win. And I think she still carries that today.
It was cool to have someone like Sage to push my surfing at the time, and I think that's why we were so serious. We wanted to be each other always. we both wanted to win, and there could only be one winner, and she got me sometimes, I got her sometimes.
I think you got me the majority of the time.
Well, she always made me feel like she was getting me, you know, there were certain moments, and she was always pushing my surfing.
Yeah, court surfing is amazing, and the thing with Courtney is she's constantly improving and constantly getting better and progressive, and there's something always new about what's in her surfing, and I think that's her personality as well. Is she's so versatile and so loving and caring, and yeah, she's intense at events and she's really driven, but at the end of the day, she's like a teddy bear. And
Don't tell people that.
She's one of the sweetest girls you'll ever meet.
I always love her surfing. It's very powerful and fluid all at the same time, and it's really tricky to mesh those two things together. I'd say as a person, she's super down to earth and just really kind and loving, and I don't even know how I didn't like her at first.
But when they face each other in the water, there's no room for friendship.
Once that buzzer goes, like, we'll wish each other luck, and then it's game on.
I think it's really mutual between Courtney and
Yeah.
I, and we know that in a heat, like, this is our job. This is what we get paid
Yeah.
for.
When you don't have a fellow American, they had so many Australians. I was the only American at the time. I was going, you know what? I want Sage to get on this darn tour. You know, you want that person that you have a familiarity, and then you can work together in those moments. She always gives you that little advice and those words that just like, it centers you again, and it's perfect.